Have you ever noticed that sometimes the biggest mistake isn't the one we think it is? This week in Parashat Toldot, everyone talks about Isaac's mistake in blessing Jacob instead of Esau. But when you read the text closely, it appears that Isaac's mistake may not have been who he blessed, but what he blessed. Let's take a closer look. God's promises to Abraham are crystal clear. God promises repeatedly, you'll become a great nation. You'll be a blessing. Those who bless you will be blessed, and the land of Israel will be yours. So naturally, we expect Abraham's son Isaac to pass down the same blessings. But Isaac's blessing is very different. He mentions the dew of heaven, the fat of the land, abundance, and mastery over nations and his brothers. While the blessing of abundance may be an extension of the blessing of the land, the blessing of power and domination is totally new. So where did Isaac get that from? The answer may be hiding in the previous chapter. Genesis 26 tells us that Isaac enjoyed material blessing in the land and had accumulated much wealth. God's blessings to Abraham were unfolding before his eyes. But success came with backlash. The Philistines grew jealous and blocked his wells. Their king broke Abraham's treaty and expelled him. He then moves, and more conflict follows. The ownership of his wells is challenged. He retreats again and again before finally finding peace. Imagine how Isaac must have felt. He was living in the land God promised his family, and yet he feels vulnerable, humiliated, pushed around. So when Isaac thinks about the next generation, what does he want for them? Not just blessing and abundance, but power, domination, and the ability to stand firm instead of retreating. But here's the twist. This blessing was never meant for Esau. God had already told Rebekah that Jacob, the quiet and mild-mannered tent dweller, will receive this blessing. But why give Jacob of all people the blessing of strength and political power? Maybe because God knows something profound. That power in the hands of someone without moral restraint is dangerous. Esau is strong but impulsive. Jacob's character is shaped by life in the tent, not the field and the hunt. The eventual conquest of the land involving the use of force must be guided by someone who knows the limits of power and who respects the rule of law. Now let's bring that forward. We too are living through a time of struggle. We've been fighting a necessary and justified war against those seeking our destruction. Our soldiers have shown courage, restraint, and a commitment to morality even under impossible conditions. But recently we've also seen something deeply disturbing. Jews committing violence against Arab civilians in villages and homes. These acts are immoral. They're a betrayal of Torah. They're a betrayal of who we are, because we are the children of Jacob, not Esau. Yes, we must defend ourselves. We must stand strong, but our strength must always be guided by Torah, by ethics, by the belief that power is never an excuse for violence or cruelty. Shabbat Shalom.